So my name is Richard Miller. I live in Southern California, and I work for a company here in Utah called FamilyLink.com. And we are a sort of living genealogy company. There's a lot of genealogy family companies in Utah, but we have the largest network of family connections living. So we have 600 million connections between 80 million users. We started out as a Facebook app, and that's kind of how we got everybody on the app. So I did a Kynetx application where I'll go into my Facebook profile as Cliff Huxtable, and you'll notice that I've got these friends Theo and Claire, and I will go into Chrome extensions and turn on the Family Link application or extension, which I built with Kynetx, and I'll refresh this page. And you'll notice that now above Theo it says possible relative, and above Claire Huxtable says relative. And so what happened here is the Kynetx plugin found all the Facebook IDs on this page in the DOM, and it sent them over to Family Link. And because we have this huge network of families in Family Link, we were able to know which Facebook IDs are relatives of each other. And then we brought that back to the browser, and we were able to say Claire is a relative, and Theo may be a relative. That means he's a relative of a relative. That's why he's a possible relative. So we were able to show our people directly in Facebook who might be their family member. And so the idea here was that maybe life's a little bit better if you know who your family is. If you're on LinkedIn and you're trying to do a business deal and you're trying to find an in into a company, maybe it would help you to know that my cousin's friend works at this company, or this person knew my grandfather. You might have some interesting connections that way. Maybe if you were on a political blog and it's very heated and there's a lot of debate, maybe things would be a little bit more civil if you knew, we've got this common relative. Let's take a step back and look at our commonalities. And I guess on a dating website, it would help you know who not to date. So there's a few applications. So then that's the app that I showed for the contest. Lately, we've been doing some other work with Kynetx, and I'll show you just a couple of those. There's this website called Find a Grave. It's a huge repository of gravestones and markers. And so let's say that you want to find out if you've got an ancestor that's got a gravestone. We'll go into this search, and I can type in a last name. I'll put in Folling. And then the Kynetx plugin adds that Add to Family button on each of those entries. So if I discover that this Emma Folling is a great-great-grandmother of mine, I could say Add to Family Tree, and that will take it back to the Family Link family tree where I can sort of collect all these family references together. And so,
I always thought Steve's last name was Buskuhi. Now we know the truth.
Same thing works on Ellis Island. If I could put in, this is the record of everybody that came through Ellis Island. If I put in, a last name like Udell, we can see what happens here. You could put that button right there. And these three sites, Find a Grave, Ellis Island, and then Google Image Search, I used Kynetx's annotate search results. So these are all sort of search engines. They present a list of results in a table. So I use the annotate search results KRL language element where I can define, what DOM selector will give me that table, and then I can pull up each of those entries. And then you may not have known this, but in Google Image Search, there's actually, if you go to Google Image Search Advanced and choose black and white, you can do a black and white image search, and that's actually a pretty good way to find old photographs. So maybe you type in Windley, and then you find that some.
Dr. Willie's a woman.
So that will let you add to a family tree directly from one of those Google image searches. So there's a very small percentage of our users that care about genealogy, and so this will allow them to kind of collect all those pieces back to their family tree, kind of a shoebox, virtual shoebox, and then store them that way. So that's all.